Hey guys, Scott here. Bit of a quick one today. It's just a funny slash sad story that I felt the need to talk about because it's entertaining. But there is a official stream by Dead by Daylight right now on their channel featuring Chandler Riggs, who plays Carl from The Walking Dead. DBD just had a Walking Dead release with Rick and Michonne and Daryl and all the stuff as survivors. So kind of cool crossover. Just do a fun little stream like that. You know, no harm, no foul. I think that's a totally fine PR thing to do. And then, you know, I was looking forward to watching it. I was looking at it on Otz's channel where, you know, Chandler's going to be playing with a bunch of DBD content creators. And it was supposed to be an entertaining thing. But in, you know, classic behavior fashion, of course, the entire thing has been a train wreck so far. This has been going on for an hour and a half now. There has been zero gameplay. Nothing has actually happened yet because every time they try to start a game, it entirely lags out. The server basically crashes. The game is completely unplayable. So they have just been kind of stalling and just wasting time trying to fix the issue.
That's my streamer. What's happened?
Oh.
I did try.
All right, friends. I think we might need to have restart.
So before I go any further, I want to actually explain what's happening here. This is not behavior servers just like performing badly or a bug or something like that. This is a known exploit that has been happening for a while. It's just not a very widespread one. Basically, there are ways for cheaters to insert themselves into a lobby, get the IP of the server that they're going to be playing on, and then they can just DDoS it at their will. So this has been a known issue for quite some time. And we kind of all figured with this event, surely they're going to take, you know, mitigations against this kind of thing happening, because obviously people are going to try to target this because, you know, to hackers, this would be fucking hilarious to them. So you would think, okay, this is, you know, a closed circuit thing. It's just 5 people playing in a custom game. Surely they have some form of prevention for this happening, but of course not. Immediately the first game, they just got lagged out, and it was very clear that this is the same DDoSing thing that we've actually seen before. Like I said, this is not a very widespread thing, and it's mostly targeting content creators because there's not really much joy in doing it to someone that you can't view the reaction of. So that is mostly what has been happening. But the thing is, this is unfortunately actually kind of easy to mitigate for this particular exploit. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh man, behavior should just deal with DDoSing. It's so easy to fix. DDoSing is one of the most complicated problems in the technical world to fix. Every major company has been DDoSed. Far more competent companies than behavior have been DDoSed before. This is a very hard thing to actually mitigate. And, you know, millions and billions of dollars has been spent on trying to doing and just failing to do it. But in this particular instance, without going into too much detail about how the exploit works in order for this information to go, this particular instance is easily mitigated. From what I've understand from internal discussions about this and information from people that are, you know, connected with behavior, the way that this actually works, it requires an empty party slot for a hacker to basically insert themselves in to see where, you know, the IP is and then get that information. And then from there, it's just, you're fucked. But there needs to be an open party slot for that to actually happen. So, for example, if you were in a full 4-man survive with friends and the killer was already in the lobby, a hacker couldn't insert themselves into any role at that point. So they can't join, and then they can't actually get the IP of the server. Thus, they can't DDoS you. But if there is any open slot, they can actually take up that slot, get the information, and then leave before you even notice. And then, again, you're screwed. However, Otofu has been running a tournament recently, and he's actually been mitigating that by having all of the spectator slots full. So basically, there are no spare slots for anyone to join. And in fact, if people try to join, again, I don't want to give too much information about it. I've only been loosely told about this as well, but there are ways to basically deal with that, and you can tell if a hacker has joined and, you know, gotten the IP of the server, and then you can just remake the lobby. Pain in the ass and stuff like that, but there are ways to do it. The thing is, the people that know about this stuff have told behavior about this prior to this happening, and they didn't do anything. They just didn't do anything to mitigate it. They just trusted that no one's going to DDoS us. It's going to be fine. So Otz was pathetically, I say pathetically not as an insult to him, just like I'm saying pathetic as on like a desperate attempt to salvage the situation, was trying to allow behavior to let his mods fill up the spectator slots, because that would absolutely rectify the issue.
Need to get a full staff list to join this lobby. I think we know what's happening here.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it doing...
Yeah, we're gonna have to fill up the lobby so there's no room for any invites that can flood this.
But for whatever reason, I'm not talking to behavior. I'm sure they don't want to discuss it. For whatever reason, they just won't let them do that. They just, I guess, don't trust Otz's mods, which I guess I can kind of understand from like a third-party standpoint. They don't know his mods, but it's better than the fucking hacker going in there and getting the server IP. So Otz was trying to, mitigate this, and the people that knew about it were trying to tell behavior how to fix this issue even before this even happened. But like I said, it has been, like I said, this is just happening live. This is just happening live. It's been happening for, over an hour now. This started like an hour and 20 minutes ago, maybe. But this has just been going on, and nothing has happened yet. So it is really, really sad to see this, because this particular instance of it should have been preventable. I'm not saying in general DDoSing and DBD and stuff like that is preventable, because it's just really not. You can do things to mitigate it, but this particular controlled instance of a PR event, this one was actually pretty mitigatable, because again, you can't DDoS something if you don't know the server to DDoS. You can't send the, billions of requests and stuff like that unless you actually know. And dude, there's no way. While recording this video, they just ended without any gameplay. Oh no.